Hello everybody and welcome back to NCAA 2004 in the Alabama Crimson Tide Dynasty, and it's another doozy. It's the game, man. Every single year we're back playing the same game, the same big game, and it's the Arkansas Razorbacks, the number 8th ranked Arkansas Razorbacks, who are currently on an 11-game winning streak. And so I'm not sure about the math. I didn't see their season last year. They went 9-4 last year, so we could have potentially been the last loss they had. No, because I mean, if we're this early on in their conference schedule, they could have lost at least one more game after us, maybe like one or two more games after us, and then just kind of won out, and also obviously won their bowl game. But either way, they're coming into this game. Looking for revenge, because last year was the first time ever in the Sick Naban era, since year number 1 at least, when we beat them, when we beat Arkansas. So we've lost Arkansas the last couple of years, and we finally got back in the win column against the Razorbacks, which was crucial because in the SEC race, outside of really just one season that one bad season Arkansas had and that we had, this game has really kind of had a lot of stakes in terms of the SEC standings and how that kind of pans out. So most of our games do against Georgia, Tennessee, LSU, you know what I mean? Like, they all matter, but this game always just seems to have quite a bit of stakes because both teams always seem to be pretty good, and this year is no different. So we're coming into this one both ranked in the top 10. This is a marquee matchup, and I think our offense is a little bit worse than last year's, but we are still, one of the best teams in the SEC, and Arkansas also is returning quite a bit of people on their offense as well. I think they have some new starters. I wrote down their key skill position players, so I'll be able to call them out better, but they're going to get started on offense. So their quarterback is a junior, LaTroy Moore, is going to throw this one across the middle, and I believe, I didn't write down their numbers, of course, because I'm an idiot, but I believe it's their top receiver, Marcus Battle. He's a junior who typically causes us, I think he's typically caused us, or no, it's not, it's actually their junior Corey Rich who caught that ball. So he catches it across the middle in double coverage, and that gets Arkansas inside the 15. So LaTroy Moore is going to try and run at the option. He's going to barely get the pitch off here, but the running back cannot field it cleanly as this ball travels backwards about 5 or 10 yards. And so Arkansas is going to lose here on a pretty big blunder. So on second and long here, LaTroy Moore is going to fire this one to the end zone. That was going to get covered very well by our defense. There was no clear lane for that ball to go to, and Cecil Randolph's going to celebrate like he did something, even though he did absolutely nothing. So Arkansas is going to rely on special teams here to get him some points early into the game, and it works out as in the gray and mucky Bryant-Denny Stadium, which for some reason it always is. I don't know why it's always gray and mucky in this game. It just has like that gray hue to it. I don't understand it, but either way, Arkansas takes a 3-0 lead, and now it is our turn. It's Tim Lewis and the boys' turn, and Tim Lewis fires this one up here and finds DeJon Carroll to get inside the red zone, and that is his 4th straight completion. So Tim Lewis is cooking here on this drive. So cut to a 2nd and 6. Lewis drops back here, clean pocket, throws this one out in triple coverage, and obviously someone's going to pick that off. And now heading the other way, Arkansas has this one going, and Tim Lewis is going to track down the safety who was able to catch his interception. He tracks down and saves the touchdown on his own mistake, but still it's a huge return for Arkansas. It's going to get him close to midfield, and now Arkansas really kind of has a new lease on life here as they take a 3-0 lead over us after 1 quarter of play. So 1st and 10 here, a couple minutes into the second quarters. Arkansas wasn't able to do anything with that pick, and they're going to exchange one of their own as LaTroy Moore hits Mark Blackwell, our cornerback, one of our top cornerbacks on the defense, and he is able to cut this pass off beautifully, reads LaTroy Moore's eyes very, very plainly. Look at that, just out of nowhere, like Superman, bro. He's literally flying into frame, and he catches this one and gets brought down at about the 49, the Bama 49. So 1st and 10 here, and we're going to go with a pitcher. Some trick play. It's a reversal, and that's Chad Whitaker who's going to fire this one downfield, and somehow in all that coverage, it's going to somehow find its way to I think to Jody Quinn, who's the it's DeJon Carroll who catches that, but we might see Jody Quinn later, and we'll talk about it. So on a 2nd and short, Lewis play action, and he's going to fire across the middle. I was freezing up. I forgot our quarterback's name for a second. I completely forgot his name for a second. There's too many names in my head right now, but Tim Lewis does get the completion. So on the next play here, Tim Lewis again flips it out quickly, and that's going to be, I believe that time it was Jody Quinn. I think it was Jody Quinn, and it is Jody Quinn. So Jody Quinn is the unnamed number 87 receiver on the roster who I've been unable to name up until this point. He's one of the freshmen that we're starting here. He's the 4th receiver on the depth chart, so that's why we haven't seen him. But speaking of freshmen or previous freshmen, it's Chad Whitaker, and he's making big plays for us here late in the first half here, just under 2 minutes. He's going to get this one inside the 10, so it's going to be goal to go. But on 3rd and goal from the 1, we're struggling to punch it in. Tim Lewis has to move back in the pocket, tries to flip this one out quick, I believe to Nate Allen, or I don't know, I think it might have been the backup tight end who he tried to hit. Yeah, I think it was the backup tight end who we tried to hit. So on 4th and goal, we're going to bring up Marion Ferguson to just kind of finish what we cannot finish ourselves. And so we're going to take a 7-point lead over the Razorbacks here, with just 1 minute and change left to go in the first half. So we're really battling for the points here against the Razorbacks. Both teams kind of exchanging mistakes. Neither team really able to kind of open this one up. So on 1st and 10, LaTroy Moore, he's going to make another mistake. He's going to find Cecil Randolph on the other side of the field. And this time, Cecil Randolph has a clear running lane to get into the end zone, and it is a pick 6. So we don't just get to watch a Cecil Randolph interception. We're going to get to watch a Cecil Randolph pick 6 as LaTroy Moore was under quite a bit of pressure, and he kind of just had to get rid of this one quick here. Tried to find Marcus Battle, I believe, who he tried to float that one out to. And it didn't matter. Cecil Randolph was able to see that one well. So 17-3 is your score with a few seconds left to go in the half. LaTroy Moore trying to get something, if anything, going if he can. And he's going to get gobbled up quickly. And he is going to get brought down, I believe, by Jim Richards. I believe it's Jim Richards. I don't have their numbers written down either. I'm an idiot. So on 3rd and 22, pressure again is coming off of the same side. And it's another sack, I believe, for Richards again. So we will see exactly who is racking up all of these sacks, but Richards again coming off of that edge and getting to LaTroy Moore. Man, dude, that right tackle is really just fighting for his life, dude. He's fighting for his life. So 17-3 is going to be the score after 1 half of play, and now things look a little bit better for us, but it's still only a 14-point game. Arkansas can score and just get back into this one, but we're on offense again here, and Lewis fires this one across the middle, and who else but Chad Whitaker across the middle to get that catch and up the field here for a first down and a little bit more. So the offense is rolling once again, but now thanks to some negative plays here, 3rd and 16 for the Crimson Tide offense from the Arkansas 25-yard line. And Lewis, quick release, and that one's batted around, but Chad Whitaker, with the concentration, is able to catch it off of the tip, off of the pass deflection, and get into the end zone for another Crimson Tide touchdown. And now I think you can safely say that this one is opened up quite a bit. And actually, that was Scott Mitchell, another freshman in the receiving corps, the standout freshman receiver, the top recruit here from Iowa, Pella, Iowa. Is able to make the catch here through the deflection. So 24-3 is your score. Now we're going to get some ground game action as LaTroy Moore. What am I doing? What am I doing? As Lamont Farrell, who we haven't called all the game, is going to get a huge pickup for us to get us inside the red zone just about. And Lamont Farrell feasting for us. On 2nd and 6, we're going to fake the handoff to Lamont Farrell this time and float this one through the air to Scott Mitchell once again in the end zones, getting his 2nd touchdown of the game. And Lord knows how many touchdowns on the season. We've simmed a couple games already, so he's probably already racked up probably 6 or 7 on the year, I would imagine. So 31-3 is your score after 3 quarters of play. And I realized editing-wise, the video was just getting too short, so I had to include something for Arkansas. We've added a field goal, but now Arkansas is finally going to get some garbage time points here. We're just under 2 minutes left to go. They're going to finally find the end zone as it was their running back, who I believe I wrote down. And I don't think I did. Oh, it's John Brooks. It's John Brooks, a junior. John Brooks, the junior of the running back, who I'm pretty sure we saw last year. I think he was giving us some problems last year as well. But he gets into the end zone, and that's going to be Arkansas's only other points of the day. We wouldn't score again either, so 10-34 is going to be your score here. Our I think, 2nd largest margin of victory? Yeah, 24 points is the biggest margin of victory we've ever had over Arkansas. It's the biggest gap in the Sick Naban era for either team, because the previous big was 21-0. Arkansas beat us in year 2, 21-0. So we have now beat that with a 24-point victory over Arkansas and have gotten over one of the first major humps of our season. Arkansas offensively, man, was really just completely suffocated. They could not run the ball whatsoever, and even their passing game was not that effective. We had a ton of pressure on the quarterback with 5 sacks. Both teams pretty bad on 3rd down, but because of the lack of a run game and the pressure on the quarterback, I think those are really your two biggest stats. They didn't even really. I mean, they lost a turnover battle with one extra interception. That pick six was kind of brutal, but really discrediting that, it wasn't good anyway. So my backups did get involved. So Chad Roach threw a few passes. Chad Whitaker, of course, 1-for-1 with his trick play reversal, little catch here, his pitch and catch. But Tim Lewis, of course, has a pretty amazing day. We love to see it. Lamont Farrell doesn't really do a whole lot. Nate Allen actually got pretty involved. I know we didn't watch any of his plays because I think they just came in garbage time. There wasn't really any reason, but Chad Whitaker, of course, leading the receiving corps in a major way, but Scott Mitchell with the 2 touchdowns is probably going to be a little bit more important maybe than the 130 yards. I don't know, depending on how you look at it. Tim Lewis did get hit quite a bit, or just a couple times, but the offensive line did feast pretty well. So James Joseph was the one with 2 tackles for loss and a sack recorded. Mark Blackwell, of course, with an INT here, a few TFLs. And it is Jim Richards who got the 2 sacks. So good for him. And then we're going to move ahead now into next week. We're not going to sim any weeks because the next game is just as important as the previous one was, as we have to play 4-1, number 14th ranked Georgia. And so now Arkansas and Georgia sit side by side in the rankings. We are still firmly at number 2. We got to pretty much rely on number 1, who I think is Ohio State, to lose to get there. So hope to see you guys in Sanford Stadium in Athens when we take on Georgia. Another huge major hump to get back to the SEC championship game. So hope to see you guys there.